It was the right read, though, by Sydney Colson. Pass up a good one for a better one, especially since she just hit one.
Hill sets up Mack, who connects for the foul.
A major controversy is boiling over in the WNBA, one that has ignited fierce debate among basketball fans, media analysts, and insiders across the sports world. And at the very center of this storm is none other than Indiana Fever rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark, the electrifying guard who has not only drawn millions of new eyes to women's basketball but also become the unexpected target of what appears to be a coordinated campaign of suppression, according to a recent bombshell report by USA Flash News. Clark's rocky rookie season may not be entirely due to the natural growing pains of transitioning to the professional level it may, in fact, be the product of a behind-the-scenes effort to diminish her impact and rewrite the narrative of women's basketball history. The source alleges the existence of a deeply rooted network of powerful University of Connecticut UConn insiders dubbed the UConn Blue Blood Whistle, who are determined to maintain control of the sport's legacy and future by undermining Clark's meteoric rise. This shadowy campaign, if proven true, would mark one of the most significant scandals in women's professional sports, as it involves a tangled web of influence from coaching legends, media personalities, team executives, and social media platforms, all working subtly but deliberately to paint Caitlin Clark as an overrated, overhyped product of media frenzy. Rather than the generational talent millions of fans see her as for months now, Clark has faced an unrelenting wave of scrutiny, and what began as subtle undermining has grown into a full-scale media assault. Questionable officiating during key games has repeatedly targeted Clark with technical fouls and no calls, often for actions that players on other teams routinely commit without penalty. Her every gesture has been dissected, every mistake magnified, and every accomplishment minimized. The treatment she has received from opposing players has gone beyond the physical toughness expected in professional competition, bordering on hostility, with several incidents showing opponents going out of their way to rough her up without consequence. But perhaps most damaging of all has been the coordinated media narrative, which seems to be built on the foundation of old-school loyalty to UConn's dynasty and a desperate attempt to protect the legacy of its most notable alumni. At the heart of this alleged movement are a few key figures, each tied intimately to the University of Connecticut and each playing a powerful role in the current structure of women's basketball. Jen Rizzotti, president of the Connecticut Sun and a proud UConn alumna, also happened to serve as chair of the USA Basketball Women's National Team Selection Committee, the same committee that controversially excluded Caitlin Clark from the Team USA roster for the 2024 Paris Olympics. That decision sparked outrage across the basketball community and beyond, with fans and analysts questioning how the most popular and statistically dominant college player of her era could be left off the team, while official explanations cited team chemistry and positional balance. Whispers of political favoritism and institutional protectionism began circulating immediately. The connection to Rizzotti only added fuel to the fire. Was Clark left off, not because she lacked talent or readiness, but because including her would shift too much attention away from UConn's lineage? Another figure playing a central role in this controversy is ESPN's Molly Karam, who herself graduated from UConn and has made several viral statements that appear to question the legitimacy of Clark's rise. One especially contentious moment came when Kareem suggested that Clark's explosion into the national spotlight was only possible because of Paige Buecher's injury, a claim that not only downplays Clark's record-breaking performances but also elevates Buecher's, another UConn star, as the rightful heir to the throne of women's basketball. The statement sparked immediate backlash from fans who viewed it as disrespectful, yet it remained on the airwaves for days, cementing an undercurrent of doubt in the minds of casual viewers. Gino Arima, the legendary UConn coach who has built a Hall of Fame career and turned the Huskies into a women's basketball dynasty, has also made his voice heard, albeit in more subtle ways. In a recent televised interview, Arima compared Clark to Buecher's and declared that Buecher's had a more complete game and understood winning at a deeper level, a comment many saw as both dismissive and calculated, designed to shift the conversation back toward UConn and its alumni at Clark's expense. The media machinery surrounding the sport has not remained neutral either. Platforms like Clutch Points and Real Sports published posts that were either overtly misleading or entirely inaccurate, one such example being the viral claim that Paige Buecher's, who has yet to even play in the WNBA due to injury, was outperforming Caitlin Clark in professional metrics. These posts, which spread rapidly across Instagram and Twitter, X, played a significant role in shaping casual perception before they were quietly deleted without correction or apology. The damage, of course, had already been done. Such narratives, even if false, reinforce the idea that Clark is somehow failing or disappointing. Despite her being among the league leaders in points, assists, and minutes as a rookie, a rare feat under any circumstances, the psychological impact of such targeted negativity cannot be understated. Particularly for a young player navigating the pressures of professional sports, media expectations, and fan scrutiny all at once. Clark's path to the WNBA was already historic at Iowa. She shattered records, became the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, and brought an unprecedented level of viewership to women's college basketball. Her games routinely drew millions of viewers, her jersey sales eclipsed those of many NBA stars, and she single-handedly changed the economics of women's sports broadcasting. Yet rather than being embraced as a symbol of progress, Clark now finds herself battling entrenched interests that fear the shift she represents. Her style bold, brash, confident, and unapologetically competitive stands in contrast to the polished, system-oriented play that UConn has traditionally celebrated. This cultural tension may explain part of the animosity. Clark's rise threatens to upend the hierarchy of women's basketball and place the spotlight on players who don't come from the blue blood programs.
She's on the court.
For Caitlin Clark, and that at some point you have to make the requisite adjustments and give yourself some grace from.
However, have not remained silent. Across social media platforms, hashtags like #FreeClark, #WNBA Agenda, and #NoClarkNoPeace have trended as supporters express outrage at what they see as systemic bias. Even those who were once casual observers have become deeply invested in the broader implications of the controversy. If a player as talented, hardworking, and impactful as Caitlin Clark can be snubbed, undermined, and disrespected, what does that say about fairness in women's sports? The controversy has ignited a long overdue conversation about media bias, gatekeeping in professional leagues, and the complicated role of legacy institutions like UConn in shaping the sport's present and future. Some have drawn comparisons to past sports scandals, such as the NBA's internal conflicts during the rise of LeBron James or Serena Williams' early battles in tennis, noting how institutions often struggle to accommodate athletes who break the mold or refuse to play by old rules. To make matters worse, former players and media insiders have come forward with claims that bolster the idea of a concerted effort against Clark. One anonymous former WNBA executive reportedly told USA Flash News that certain people in high places didn't want Caitlin to succeed too fast. They felt it would make the old guard look irrelevant. Another WNBA coach, speaking on condition of anonymity, claimed that referees were told to watch her closely and be strict with her attitude during games. While these allegations remain unverified, they add another layer to the mystery, suggesting that the issue isn't just about one player, it's about control over the sports narrative, branding, and marketability. Even respected commentators, like Charles Barkley and Stephen A. Smith, have weighed in, with Barkley famously stating on live television, "They hate her 'cause she's the future, and they're stuck in the past." Meanwhile, Clark herself has remained composed under fire, choosing not to engage directly with the controversies. In interviews, she consistently praises her teammates, deflects personal glory, and focuses on improving her game. Her quiet resilience has won over even more supporters, who admire her determination to let her play speak for itself. But the pressure is mounting, and fans are beginning to ask whether the league is doing enough to protect its most valuable new asset. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has issued vague statements about fairness and growth, but has yet to directly address the allegations of bias, favoritism, or conspiratorial behavior. As a result, trust in the WNBA's leadership is beginning to erode, particularly among younger, more engaged fans who are demanding accountability and transparency. The timing of all this cannot be ignored. Women's basketball is undergoing a major transformation, with TV ratings at all-time highs, merchandise sales surging, and a new generation of fans discovering the league. Caitlin Clark is a key driver of that momentum, and any attempt to suppress her risks alienating the very audience the WNBA hopes to capture. Sponsors and broadcast partners are paying attention to if the perception grows that Clark is being mistreated or marginalized for political reasons, the league may face commercial consequences that ripple far beyond the court. Already, some brands that signed endorsement deals with Clark are
first quarter. Indiana's defense has really been excellent here. Cunningham, swinging. Colson, lob inside.
No one would even know who Caitlin is if Paige hadn't gotten hurt. That single sentence, uttered by ESPN host and UConn graduate Molly Karam, ricocheted through the world of women's basketball like a grenade, igniting a firestorm of outrage among fans, pundits, and players alike. It didn't just question Caitlin Clark's legitimacy, it cut at the heart of her meteoric rise and seemed to reduce years of her hard work. Record-breaking performances, an undeniable impact on the game to nothing more than a fortunate accident. Such a claim wasn't just disrespectful, it was a subtle but powerful way of rewriting history, implying that Clark was merely filling in a gap left by another, more deserving player. Yet as millions of fans who followed Caitlin's journey at Iowa and into the WNBA, no, nothing about her success has been accidental. From the moment she stepped onto a basketball court, Clark's game has spoken louder than any narrative, leading the nation in scoring and assists, breaking records previously thought untouchable, and drawing national attention to women's basketball like few before her. But as this wave of resentment grows and comments like Karam's gain traction,